Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Vanilla Single Play Survival. And today's episode, we are here in a house. I'm going to give you a few seconds to kind of guess which house this is in our little village, city, town thing. I'm actually just thinking, is the sun going down right now? As I'm starting to record this episode, I think it is. We can actually go have a look. Maybe you'll find out which house it is right now. Oh, that's a good view. Oh man, I am loving this so much. We can see that building sticking out there. I haven't actually had a good look at how this is looking from here. And I think this is the point to be. I think this is the house we want to be at to find all these sorts of things. That is looking great. We need something coming up there, I think. But, oh, what would be there? Maybe a tower in the future. Maybe a tower. So let's quickly sleep this night away. I'm thinking that needs to go. That looks really, really disgusting. But that's alright. We are not focusing on interiors today. We are focusing on building today. Now, let's quickly hop down and kind of do... Now, I'll quickly let you know. Last episode, we had, well, as far as I was concerned, a pretty awesome episode in terms of how I, went through it so quick and easy. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the way that we did it. And I want to kind of do the same thing today, where I'm just going to walk in and hit up whatever we can, whatever we see we need to do. So let's go in. Let's actually walk in from the front of our city. I think this will be a good way of just seeing what we need to do. And perhaps I'm thinking maybe kind of stepping back a few building steps and working on something a bit closer to the center of the city so that we can get kind of the patchy pieces worked out. So here we go. We walk in. This area, of course, is terrible. It's disgusting. It has to be fixed. And we can do that at some stage. Maybe today. Who knows? Let's see how we go. So we keep walking. I need to do something in here. I need to do something again over there. And I'm not too sure whether we should break it up and put a building in. In fact, you know what? Here's an idea. This isn't for today, but here's an idea. Remember what we said about we need a tower or something here? Bam. Tower spot. That's what we're going to do there eventually. But aside from that, we're also going to have to connect these up with a few buildings, kind of like what we're doing there, where we've got everything intertwined. I think that's a really awesome thing to do. So we'll keep going on that. Now, let's keep walking here. Here needs work. There needs work, and we'll keep going, keep walking along and checking stuff out. Now here is where everything I find gets so awesome. Over here, everything's working so well. We've got buildings popping up around us. There's colors, there's textures, there's everything going on here. We keep going through, and everything seems to be working up to this point here. And now we just need to add in stuff there, and we have to add in stuff on that side. So let's quickly have a look at what we could be doing here today. So over here, we can be doing stuff around here, making this wall here. But I think that's pretty similar to last episode, and I'm sure I can do that off camera in about 5 minutes. So we won't be touching that today. We can also go over here and maybe start something down the bottom there. But as I say, I don't want to take any time and do things all far away until we've got the central type of stuff looking good. This is not the center being on the other side of the bridge there when I'm talking about the center. So we keep going here. You can see we've done nothing really too much. I've added in a few of these. We can check we can do a house back there. But I think what's kind of pulling me towards what we need to be doing today is something on this side of the I don't know, what would you call it? The bridge? The pond? Now, what it could be is perhaps some more houses. In fact, you know what? I've even got a better idea. Maybe we can come down on this side, because we haven't checked this out, and I've been actually getting a lot of questions on this. Now, this is something we could do, is coming down here, we could maybe make our docks that I've been speaking about. We could put all of our docks down this way. Actually, yeah, this is an idea. And then we can do a little bridgey thing going through the middle here. So, right around there. Oh, what? I do not remember this being that big. Okay, well, that doesn't stop us. That is awesome. Alright, so we'll do like a little tunnely bridge thing going underneath here to the other side of the docks, because these docks are going to be running from there. It's going to have a little path down. We'll maybe have another path down here, going all the way down and through here, which means, by the way, something that I've never done in Minecraft, and I think this will be super awesome to build, a ship. Not today, but at some stage we'll be building ourselves a big ship. I don't know, maybe a few small ships. I'm not too sure, but I think that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get going on this little bit of a tunnel here. We'll dig out. Yep, I knew that was coming. We'll dig out a bit of space. So let's get these guys in place. We'll dig a straight line through. How about that? Just keep going. straight through, and we'll kind of mold it out. And eventually we'll add in the docks and stuff. So I think the tunnel is important first to kind of get our whereabouts of what we're doing. And yeah, I think this is quite a bit of the land that we have to clear out here. In fact, where's my beacon right now? It's not actually up. Okay, well, I think it's a bit late for that. So how about we just go all the way through. Okay, that comes out nicely over here. We'll have to come at the same level. So we'll do it at the water level, like this. Now, on this side and on that side, let's just check. We've got a bit of space on the right-hand side here, so it'll be the left-hand side on this side. Do we have space for that? Yes, we do. Cool. So we'll do it more or less here. So we'll take out these two over here, and we'll have to take these out. Now, this little tunnel-y thing over here, I'm not too sure. We can probably do something... You know what? I've even got a good idea, but what we can do is something awesome, and the something awesome thing that I'm going to do is kind of create some tunnels. Because tunnels seem to be the way that we're doing things nowadays. So we'll be making a few little baby tunnels in there to kind of access our underground sort of thing. Now, something that I've been thinking of, and I'm sure some of you might not know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys, which I'm sure a lot of you would have played the game Skyrim, and I know a lot of people here would have, surely. So, what I was thinking is kind of like a thought of what... Oh, man. Sort of like a thought of what I think we could be going for. Something similar in idea, not in the way it actually looks. So, a lot of you might know the city Riften in Skyrim. It's, I don't know, I thought it was a pretty cool city. It's where the Thieves Guild is, and I think it's Thieves Guild, I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, it's kind of got a lot of underground sort of business that goes on in that city. And I think this city could have something similar, where all the... I think they call it the ratways there. Like the ratways and stuff like that. Could be a similar sort of thing over here. Maybe we can find a different name to name our tunnels. But I was thinking, like, that's sort of something that we could use to kind of give you guys an analogy of what I'm going for, at least. Just the thing with this is we're going to have these holes popping up everywhere. They're going to be kind of in tunnels that you can come out in a tunnel and you don't know where you're coming out. And bam, you're in the middle of, like, the bakery, or... come up again and you're in our main base. Like, that's what I'm going for. I think that'll be something interesting. And we will eventually get to them, obviously. Not today, but we will get to them eventually. This tunnel is taking forever to dig out. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off. We can start getting some decorating stuff together. Now, I'm thinking I'll go another block there. We'll do a 2 block out there and a 2 block out there. Have a 3 wide tunnel. That'll be good. And we can probably... Actually, let me just think how am I going to do... In here, we'll probably put this little passageway that I was talking about in here. We'll put the door there. We'll have a little... Do we have stairs on us? No, but we can do it with these stairs. Well, I was looking for stone stairs specifically. Do something like that. And we'll have to... Yeah, I was thinking of making it kind of like this. Now, I've actually got a question for you guys. Because... I have been struggling so much for bone blocks, and it's something that, this is something that I wouldn't have considered too long ago, but now I think it is something I can consider. So I've got a question for you guys. Well, there's 2 ways we can do this. So basically, I could go and jump into adventure mode, not adventure mode, spectator mode, and check for a skeleton spawner, because I do have a pretty good idea to get around without using a skeleton spawner to get bones, but I think it might just be the simplest thing for us to do right now to create a skeleton spawner and kind of go for it. The other thing, which is the alternative, is down in the description, there is a link to a download if you guys are interested. Now, this is a question I actually get quite often. Actually, I got asked twice on one day, in fact, on the KaoshKraft server the other day while I was playing, whether you can download my world or whether there will be a world download. There is one, and it gets updated every 20 or so, every 20 episodes, not 20 or so, it is every 20 episodes. So, if you guys do want to download my world and maybe have a look for me and give me coordinates, that will also be quite helpful for a skeleton zombie spawner. Now, I actually did, at one stage, I think this was very early, when I think it was off the first download, someone said that there was 2 of them very close together. I don't want a zombie spawner, but I want a skeleton spawner. But yeah, someone said that there was a skeleton zombie spawner very close, and I never got the coordinates for it. They just mentioned it. And I was like, oh man, and I don't know whether it was hundreds of thousands of blocks out, but if you guys find that, that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, let me know if you guys are going to do that, or if you guys want me to maybe just go and search in spectator mode, which I'm happy to do. At first I thought, you know, we're going to have to adventure this, but I think I've done a lot of the tunnels around here, and it's kind of not the way the series is going right now. The series we currently want to build, it's kind of hindering us from making pretty buildings right now. So that's why I decided it won't be a bad idea to do this sort of stuff. Now, I think I will cut here, guys. I will decorate this tunnel, and we'll come back. Alrighty, guys, we are back, and I have done a little bit of work. By a little bit of work, I mean a fair bit. So, this is what we've got done here. I kind of couldn't record, actually, between the last clip and this clip, so I thought I'd just keep going. And, yeah, I went a little bit crazy. Although, this all does need a lot of work. It's very, very plain. Like, we've got this depth, and we've got, like, all those types of things going on, but we need to change up a few of these blocks. We have to make it look a little bit more, I don't know, worn down. I think just kind of natural, in a way. So let's have a look at what this looks like. Did that just push the boat? Alright, let's have a look at this here. So this is the tunnel, right? And I'll quickly show you, we are using wool blocks, and I think this just furthers my point I just made about the bone blocks. Bone blocks. Man, I can't speak already. The reason is, the bone blocks would look a lot better because they've got the nice texture, they've got the real nice color. These wool blocks are just here as a temporary thing, and I think we definitely have to get our hands on some bone blocks. So that's what that's looking like. I've just torched the hell out of it. We'll probably end up figuring out a different lighting source at some stage, and I've got the secret entrance right over there. Nothing else around here. We've still got to do on this side here, and this side is actually going to be where we're going to put the docks. So around here, let's just walk over here, or jump, run over here. Now this area here, I'll quickly tell you what's going to happen. Just like how I cleared out all that land in there to make this giant lake, we're going to clear out this here, and I'm fairly certain I've said that before. We're going to clear out this little island piece here, and this will be a little kind of bay area as well, so it just kind of flows onto there. Now, the thing is, this isn't going to be where the boats are. This is probably just going to be, I don't know, maybe just an open area for now, and we'll work something else out at some stage. But around this side here is going to be where the boats all dock and they stop and they, I mean, it's the same thing, but yeah, they all come here and they just chill out like boats do, you know? They just hang out around here. We'll probably have a few docks shooting off into the middle there. But yeah, that's kind of the idea of what we're going for. Oh, the sun's going to go down soon. And yeah, I think it'll work. So the next kind of step that we have to take is fixing up the top here, because you can see we've replaced these, and we've got like all these different kind of texture-y blocks here. I don't know if I'm 100% a fan of all these textures anymore, like these sorts of things, but we can always work that out at some stage. It's just a bit of playing around, walking around, seeing if it feels right or not. But now what we're going to do is we're going to do so. Oh, actually, I should probably change that. What we're going to do now is we're going to replace a few blocks here to make them look a little bit more natural. So maybe that one there and one more like that. I'm not a fan of the chiseled in making these look a little bit different, so we'll just remove a few blocks. And this is just a really good way of making sure that everything breaks up a little bit and you don't have everything looking the same. So another trick to getting things random, make things, don't just do one and then one and then one and then one. Because what happens when you do just one and one and one, like what I've done from here, it's not really as random looking as you think. Whereas when you do, like, for instance, like 3 in a row, it kind of messes around, because normally what happens when you do, I don't know if you've ever figured this out, but when you see things that are random, they generally have a few things that are together. So, for instance, say you wanted to generate random numbers off the top of your head, you'll probably have a lot less kind of duplicate numbers in a row than what you would if you had a random number. No, the other way around. You'd rather probably have a few more duplicates if you had a random, like, set of numbers. So yeah, I think it's kind of unimportant regardless. I just thought it was something I'll let you know that I find helps, at least in terms of making stuff. So now we've just replaced these and try and use a very little of that cobblestone. Over here I'm using a bit of gravel just because I think it looks alright. There we go. And, oh, it's nighttime already. Just, you can see what we're doing here. We're just replacing stone bricks and all these sorts of things. How's there a zombie out already? It must be underground. There we go. Mossy. In fact, we could probably use quite a bit of mossy down underneath here, because this is all right by the ocean. So you would imagine that a lot of ocean stuff has been, like, grown around here. There's a lot of things going on. Let's do that, and we will do that. So let's quickly go sleep this off. I'll go hop in the bed, and I'll be right back, then we can see what's going on. Okay, so here it is. You can see it just makes a little bit of a difference to have these kind of textures in. And I wish there were more textures on these blocks. Let me just zoom in there. See, I think it looks quite good, just having a little bit of things to break it up a bit. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion, obviously, and I know it does seem to be the case with a lot of things and a lot of people. Another thing that I have done, which I thought I'd give a try, I'm not too sure about it just at the moment, is these jungle logs over here. Oh, we actually need to replace that one there, because then it looks like it's actually going into the ground, so that's my bad. There we go. We don't have any on us, do we? No. So yeah, just, by the way, what I'm talking about there is a trick. Instead of letting it stop there, let it go into the ground, so you can see it going into the ground. Now, the reason I use the jungle logs is if you look very closely, you can see they look like they have a bit of green in them, as if they've got a bit of moss growing on them. Kind of like, where's this zombie? Man. Yeah, kind of like they have been underwater. So that's the reason I use those. And now what I want to quickly go do, guys, is something a little bit away from this sort of decorating stuff, which is something we're going to do over a period of time, because it's a big task, and I think if we do little by little, we will kind of fix it up as we go. And we've actually indirectly, well, like unintentionally been doing it for a few episodes now, so let's just eat a little bit of food. What we're going to do is we're going to be putting in our storage system underneath the base. The giant storage system that we were talking about, we're going to be doing that. But what we need to do that is we need to make sure that we have the droppers going up so we can actually actually do it. So we have to take probably, let's take a stack. And by the way, just take a second to appreciate the number of things I've made here. I did this probably like a month ago or so now, and it's actually been so useful. You know, whenever you want to do something with redstone, you never have anything ready. So we got repeaters, we got comparators, torches, pistons. We probably could do with a bit more of those. I thought we had enough droppers, but turns out they gotta go. They went very, very fast, actually. Take those. And now what we have to do is we have to make our line going up. No, we didn't take those. We have to make our line going up from the bottom where all of our stuff gets collected. So from the last episode, you remember we ended up making our little thing to get stuff into our end of our tunnel, I guess. And we'll just pop one of those there. And we'll need one of those there. Good. So I'll show you what we're talking about. Now, this kind of hopper thing is going to go up into a water stream again. We're actually going in the wrong direction. And from that water stream, it's going to get pulled around on another water stream, which I'll show you. So it's going to come up the wall, I think, around about there. We're going to have a water stream at the back going all the way down there, back here. And it's going to run along this side here all the way till this end here. At this end, we will have maybe a storage thing for items that don't get picked up, because we're going to have filters to stop certain items from, well, to store items specifically in where they're meant to be. So, for instance, we'll have a filter to pick up all the cobblestone. So any cobblestone that comes through will go through there. In fact, what we could even do is perhaps just make a loop. So it'll just keep going on a loop the whole time until eventually it despawns. That could actually be not a bad idea, in fact. Or it could actually be a very bad idea. So what we have to do here is we have to quickly go to the end of this tunnel, which, coming back to it, I think it does look quite good. Still have to do this roof bit. So we want the hopper to be in here. The dropper will be in here. So let's quickly check what coordinate that is. So that is 85. Let's make sure. 85 and 559, right? We're on level 10 as well. So 85 and 559. What we have to do is remember that. And then we will go 85, 559. I know I'm going to forget. So let's just quickly go up there, do that. And we're going to have to dig a hole all the way down. And then just pop these in. So what I'll do is I'll quickly run back there, and I will be right back. Alrighty, it turns out we actually had a path already here, so maybe I've done this before and I just can't remember doing it. So let's do that. 85, 559, yeah, it turns out I've worked this out before. So what we have to do now is we have to just quickly clear this out. We'll probably clear out, we'll need to clear out, I think, 3, so we'll have to do that. And in fact, can we do it on the side here? We might actually do it on one of these sides, so we'll do it like this. I'm just thinking, when we've got this torch tower, yeah, let's just clear out these 3 for now. We'll do this. We can always maybe just, if we do have a trouble with the torches, we can always just dig another line. It's not a big deal, or just send the signal around somewhere else. So let's do this. And we've got another 30 levels to go, really? Okay guys, so I went all the way to the top there, and I think everything should be working. So what we want to do is we want to check and make sure that whatever we put in here goes all the way to the top. So what are we going to put in? Let's check what we've got in our inventory. Oh, we can actually do one more thing, actually, which I forgot to do, which was place that ice block so that we have a bit of water in here. So let's put it right around. Oh, that's blocked off, is it? Yep. Just make sure we block that off first with something that won't be broken anytime soon. I'll quickly show you what I've done here, by the way, because we did almost run into a problem. So I wanted to put this torch tower going this way, so in line with this, because I think it might interfere with the loop when we get to it. So I thought if it's at the back here, it'll be out the way, which I think will be something we will be very glad we did later on in this project. But the other thing I did was to make that there, instead of me keeping it compact and going straight there, I went around into this block here and then started the tower around this way, which I think worked quite well. So we'll put in some items here. We'll get... Why is this? Okay, those items are... Wait, what? Okay. Oh, alright, I see what's going on here. I see what's happening. Those items were in the other one, so if that goes in there, that will... It should work, cool. Alright, so let us put in, for instance, something that we won't find at the top there, this mossy cobblestone. Let's put in 61 of those. Yeah, I'm doing the wrong thing here. Let's put in 61 of those there. Okay, it sounds like it's working. Let's go have a look up the top there. And, oh, yeah, we're going to quickly put this in. Pop those down, that down there. Break it with our fist. There we go. Is that finished completely? Not yet. Okay, good. I like that it's somewhat silent there all of a sudden. I don't want it to be that noisy clicking all the time, but, I mean, if we can't get rid of it, hey, we can't get rid of it. We might have to work out another elevator, like, for instance, the glass elevators. I'm pretty sure they still work. You just gotta work, there's a workaround around getting the glass out of elevators, which I've actually never done, but they look very interesting, that's for sure. So up here, we want to see almost a stack of these beautiful blocks. Oh man, yeah, that's working pretty awesome. Okay, well, I guess that's successful. So, how many do we get? 42. I don't think that was all of them. Okay, well, that's cool. It means there might be some stuck in the hopper or dropper chain. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I think this will be the end of the episode. We've actually got, well, I've got a lot done off camera, and I think overall it's quite a good thing to get started on a new area in this base. So quickly, before you guys go, I want to quickly say, let me know about that skeleton spawner thing that we spoke about in the beginning. Whether or not you guys will find it or not, or whether or not it's close or whatever. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.